nature, a beautiful and fascinating thing, but unfortunately threatened in many ways. With a constant danger of habitat destruction and climate change, the world's wildlife survival is hanging in the balance. But thankfully, not all hope is lost. In the UK, charities around the country have been protecting and rehabilitating animals in need of help, with volunteers and animal health specialists working around the clock. Their work helps prevent species extinction and rescues injured or distressed wildlife from further trouble. One of these fantastic charities is the Raptor Foundation, and the work they do is simply remarkable. The charity first began operating in 1989 when Liz and Steve McQuillan began caring for sick and injured raptors at their home. Inspired, they took on the charity work full-time in 1991, eventually taking on volunteers and training aspiring wildlife vets in the care of raptors. 25 years later, and the charity is still a fantastic success.
Okay, well, we've got just under 200 birds of prey, and mixed in there somewhere, there's several parrots as well. All of our parrots are rescued as well, so some are out here in the park, some are over by the reptile house. We also have 2 kookaburras smack bang in the middle of the park. You just heard those laughing as well. Again, they were rescued, they were unwanted by their last owners. And then on the far side of the park, literally in the last few months, we've opened a reptile house. So in there you've got something like 20 odd stick insects, 30 cockroaches, 2 bearded dragons, 3 snakes, an iguana, 3 meerkats, 3 tortoises, and lots more. And everything in there, all bar 2 things in there, I like the birds, are rescued. When zoos maybe change their collections, overbreed something, or simply just don't want to house that animal anymore, they go onto a surplus list. We can look at that surplus list and go, yeah, definitely, we can take that, we can do that. And for our reptile house, we've literally been the length, breadth and width of the country. So even our reptile house is being sourced in almost an environmental way.
Our morning routine is to get everything weighed, so we health check everything in the morning to make sure everything's nice and healthy, get it all out to enjoy hopefully some sunshine, and then that's pretty much it. And then obviously we start our day then dealing with the public, so then we hold all our feeds, talks and flying demos. So. Obviously the best bit is obviously the training, I think, to the birds. It's so rewarding to get feedback from them as well. So yeah, the training for me is my favourite bit of my job. I mainly work with the birds. That is what I really am here to do. But obviously we all take it in turns. Being there's only 5 members of staff here that actually work on site most of the time. So we have to go between it and give everybody a little bit of a break from each thing. So yeah, I deal with obviously the reptiles, and I've kept reptiles before, and I worked with them before as well before I started here at the centre. So it's quite easy for me to sort of slip into that role as well. So yeah, I cover the reptiles and meerkats as well.
The charity is certainly impressive, but how does it get its funding in order to keep the birds and other animals happy and healthy?
Obviously by donating, obviously money is our worst thing really, because obviously we are a charity, we don't get any government funding, so we have to rely on the public coming in. So the general obviously payment to get in the gate actually pays for us to look after these beautiful creatures. So but we do lots of fundraising, we do lots of what we call street collections, where we take some of the birds with us, we do a little demonstration in the middle of the town centre.
Just because we're a charity doesn't mean to say we stand still. We still need to bring people in through those doors, and that means having new exhibits and things like that in order to keep going.
If we can encourage more people to get involved with conservation and helping, even to come and do a bit of volunteering, then obviously we do. So the more interaction we create here, the better.
When you work with animals, you're never ever done with their enclosures. Even if you build a brand new one tomorrow, the next day it will be outdated and someone will have built better. So we are constantly striving to look for new ways of building our aviaries. Not necessarily bigger isn't always best, but more appropriate things, whether that be changing types of material, changing angles, etc. So yeah, we are building new aviaries at the moment. We've got 6, 7 going in underneath the canopy, and then you'll notice there's quite an empty patch in the middle right now. We knocked down a really big aviary, plus 3 other little ones, and that's, can't tell you about the plans quite yet for that, because they're not quite finalised, but sort of watch that space basically.
So what are the future plans for the Raptor Foundation?
Diversity is one. I know possibility of bringing in 1 or 2 birds that are what we call predatory birds. So a bit like the kookaburras. So they eat meat but aren't necessarily birds of prey. Because by doing that we can explain to children what makes a bird of prey isn't quite as simple as something that eats meat. We still have to finish the reptile house, so that's definitely ongoing. And there's things like the parrot enclosures. We'd like to build outside parrot enclosures, and we've got a woodland walk just down this area that we've just built some bug houses and things down there. I'm certainly keen to bring the countryside in, so to speak. I know we're in the middle of fields, which sounds ridiculous, but to bring local wildlife in. So that's one way I want to go, so to get the kids more focused on what we have right here at home as well. I mean, you fly an eagle or a fast falcon that comes from Africa, that's easy. Pick up a log and show them a woodlice, that's a little bit more tricky. We're also focusing this year on bringing in a few lectures, so we've got a back talk in a few weeks in the evenings, trying to work with other groups and other charities as well, and bring different people in so that we can sort of pull in different customers and visitors and things like that too. As Park Curator, I oversee the staff and the collection, both reptiles and birds. I answer to the CEO, so I answer to Liz, and basically it's my job to make sure the day-to-day running of it is running well. Staff and visitors obviously are happy. It's made to do all the rotas for the staff as well. It's also to look after the breeding as well, and to look after our volunteer programme and our work experience programme, our project programme, and generally just to come up with new ideas, which I have hundreds of, which is never a shortage of. So basically I look after the day-to-day running of the park, and if we've got any problems or anything I need to run past the CEO, then I will, but other than that I'm pretty much left to get on with it.
The staff work closely with the birds daily, so which one is their favourite?
Favourite breed? Now, it depends. All the different species, you've got obviously the hawks, buzzards, eagles, owls, they're all really different when it comes to training and things. So I like the owls personally. I think there's so much to know about owls, it's really fascinating. But training wise, they are really stubborn and they're really difficult to train. But I'd have to say I like all owls. But one of my favourites here is one of our Chaco owls, Rufus. He's one of my little sweethearts. I kind of like him a lot. So, but he's a little bit naughty at the moment.
I started in this job a long time ago, and I would always say a falcon because it flies fast, and now because it flies silently. After nearly 20 years, the simple answer to that question is anything that's doing as it's told when it's told. Okay, that will be my favourite bird of that moment. If I was really pushed, I would probably struggle to pick between the vultures and the falcons. But I've got a bit of a soft spot for the owls too. Generally all of them really.
The day-to-day running of the charity is a very demanding job for all the staff and volunteers at the Raptor Foundation. The charity itself is fantastic in the work they do, and the future plans look incredible. Want to know how you can donate? Visit www.raptorfoundation.org.uk for ways you can support the charity and find out more about what they do.